voice that I heard. I love it. And this is how you get through the door. But how many for sale by owners do you have in your area? It's hard to say, right? Because you drive around, you can count it. You can go to Zillow and count that. But you know that you're missing some, right? Because they have 1,300 publications where they can advertise their home. You don't have the time to go through all those. We do. I mean, we don't have the time, but we have a system that works through the night automatically, and we scrub from every single magazine, ad, newspaper, Zillow, forsalebyowner.com, every website. And we put everything into your Landvoice platform. And I have a way how it can look up all the for sale by owners you have in your top 2 to 4 counties within just a couple of minutes. Happy to do it for you for free to let you know if there are like 100 or 30 or 20 or none or 400 or more. And you want to know that because that gives you an idea how big the opportunity is. So if you are unfamiliar with how many for sale by owners there are in 1,300 publications in your area, text 801-227-9909, your name, your top counties. Give me a little bit time. I promise I'll get back to you by the end of the day and text you back or call you back and let you know what I found. And I do this service for free for you. Next, another motivated seller source is pre-foreclosures. Why are they motivated? Well, first of all, we know that we had economic headwinds and they have not stopped. It keeps on going, right? And we know that the earlier a pre-foreclosure decides to put the home on the market, the more time they have to sell it. Like just any other home, without any pressure, without any banks involved. All they need is a good agent, which is going to be you. If they go too late, when it's foreclosure, it's too late. It's the window of time is really small. There's a lot of stress involved, and they make bad decisions. Not a good time. So get them involved early in the selling process. Okay, they have 60 to 180 days before it goes into foreclosure. That's plenty of time to take the listing, put it in the market without any stress, and getting it sold. And right now is a great time because of the value of the homes is still up. It's changing, but it's still up there. I love to pull any of our lead sources up on the phone because it makes it so easy, right? You simply scroll through, you sort, and you tap the number and it dials it. You don't even need an auto dialer because it's one by one, 100% TCPA compliant. Only call the numbers that are not on the do not call registry and you're going to be safe. Okay. And then you can take notes, tags, everything that stays with that lead. When you get to the pre-foreclosure, don't make the mistake to say, your home is going to foreclosure. Let me help you. I know it's tempting to say that because you want to come from value. I want to help you, but they don't know you yet. And it's a very delicate situation. I'd rather advise you to treat them like a neighbor. In fact, I have one client, she gets 15 transactions every quarter from pre-foreclosures. And here's a script that she's using for that. I'm going to share it with you. Hi, I'm Christoph. I'm a realtor. In fact, I'm a neighbor of yours. And I am calling everybody in the neighborhood right now because home prices are up. And I know your home isn't for sale right now, but have you ever thought about selling? Or if you were offered the right price for your home, would you be willing to sell? Guys, this works because they will tell you, we were wondering, how much is a home worth? It happens so much with them because they need to know that number. That's a really important number for them to understand when dealing with all the decisions about pre-foreclosure and banks and so on. So it's an easy appointment to get. I will let you know how many pre-foreclosures you have in your area. You can text me 801-227-9909. Got this wrong here. My name is Christoph, not Chad. But if you text me your top 2 counties, I will let you know how many pre-foreclosures there are. And you may be surprised. And you may say, okay, that's something I definitely want to add to my prospecting because it gives me another 1-2 listings a month, which right now, guys, we need every listing we can get, okay? Don't start 2026 out with hope, but with a real strategy. We also have data for the distressed homeowners that come before pre-foreclosure. You can ask me about it over the phone if you're interested. I don't have time on this webinar to talk about it. Now, I want to talk a minute about geographic farming. Why is that important? Because when you get a listing, you gotta circle prospect around that listing. If you don't do this and you're just busy and so happy with the listing that you got to market that home, do a great job, you actually miss out on other homeowners who also would put the home on the market because there is a listing in the neighborhood. It happens all the time. I know that our president of the company, when he put his home up for sale a couple of years ago, 7 other homes went up within a couple of weeks around his home. And they admitted to him, they said, oh yeah, when we noticed that your home sold so quickly within a week, we thought we should put up a home as well. So how do you reach out to the neighbors? How do you get the contact information? Landvoice has a system, we call it neighborhood search. It's the easiest and most accurate system in the market. Now, you can do this yourself if you want to, but it's so complicated. It takes so long and so inaccurate. But if you use Landvoice, looks like Google Maps. You click on neighborhood search, draw a boundary around the area you want to prospect, and then it pops up with a name, phone numbers, household income, net worth is often there. Email address is often there, but it's always we focus on cell phone numbers. And I would say 80-90% of the time, we find 2-3 numbers. And those are the most accurate numbers in the industry. The database where we get that data from is the same database law enforcement uses. It's not for the public. You have to be a licensed professional to get access to that. And you would have to buy millions of phone numbers to get it down to the price that it makes sense. We do that at Landvoice. It's very difficult and unaffordable for a solo agent to even think about that. Okay, so that's your advantage. You pay very, very little with Landvoice. We pay a lot for the numbers, but we have so many clients to be able to bring the price down. Neighborhood search can help you build your database, of course, not only circle prospect, and also gives you 3,000 search results every single month. That's 36,000 in a year, guys, that you can basically add to your database if you wanted to, or circle prospect around them. You can use it for social media campaigns. There are endless ways what you can do with the results from neighborhood search, but you will build your business. You will get an additional 2-3 listings a month from that. Here's a little advice. It's all about selection. Don't go to the shotgun approach to say, oh, I'm going to cover this neighborhood because I like it. Make sure that neighborhood search has a 6% turnover rate or higher. Very easy to find out in your MLS. All that information is in there. Start with 500 homes, and that is a manageable size of a neighborhood to circle prospect. Okay, because now you know that 30 of those, 6% of 500 is 30 of those will be sellers this year or next year, right, in 2026. So now that we talked about the lead sources, you're probably wondering, what about those scripts? They sounded really good. I'd like to have them. Simply go to landvoice.com/free downloads, or go to the QR code, scan that, put in your information, and you get free videos, scripts, everything for download, and free for you to keep. There's nothing else. There's no person you need to talk to. This is just yours as our gift. We want you to have that. Not only to have great scripts, but also to be compliant. We want the industry to be compliant. Now, how good is Landvoice and compared to other data providers? Because you may say, oh, I heard about Vulcan, or I have Redx right now. How do you compare to them? Well, Landvoice has the best reputation in the industry. Already for the last 2 years, just shot up, because 2 years ago, we were approached or acquired by a $1.4 billion company that is in this industry that said, we want to buy the best data provider. They bought Landvoice, and we were so happy when that happened to partner with them. And they said, okay, let's make sure we are at the very top, have the best reputation, the best price, the best quality of data. And that gave us immediately 600 Google reviews, 4.8 Google rating. That is the best rating, among our competitors here, because we have more Google reviews than the next competitor here with the highest rating. And we give you the most data, okay? For instance, neighborhood search, we give you 300 neighborhood search results, while everybody else gives you 1,000. The most is here, Redx, 2,500, right below us, but with a lower rating, right? So we have the highest confidence of our clients. Now I'm going to show you a couple testimonials. This takes 40 seconds. So you hear it from other agents, how well they're doing and what they think about Landvoice, if it really works. Here we go.
We are absolutely crushing it on Landvoice. Our team in less than 3 weeks has 17 listings.
Last week alone, my team and I set up 15 listing points off of Landvoice leads. Today we set 3 so far.
The first week on my Landvoice, I listed 10 homes. In the last 6 weeks, I've listed 17. They're the best thing I've ever done for my business.
In my first year of knowing nobody, I earned so much business all because of Landvoice.
Landvoice works.
And I can tell you without a doubt that the best numbers for the best price is Landvoice.
And so that's why we choose to work with Landvoice. They work for me in 90 plus cities. I think they'll work for you.
Guys, when you hear that, you think, oh my gosh, I would love to have a fraction of the business what those agents have. I would be happy already with 1 or 2 extra transactions a month. And you can have that. All you got to do is just get the system, let us coach you and put it into gear, hit the ground running right now. So I'm showing you what you can get. When you sign up for the Pro bundle at Landvoice, you get the expireds, everything that we talked about, the for sale by owners, the pre-foreclosures, and neighborhood search. The only thing that's not included is call capture or old expireds. That's an add-on. Let's do a pricing comparison really quick here. Landvoice has the best price, like I mentioned just a couple of minutes ago, $14.97 for the same data sources like other companies at a much higher quality and at a much lower price. You can see that the next closest competitor here is Mojo at $2,196 a year. Landvoice is $14.97. And these are event prices. That's not regular price. Okay, that's already a lower price. I'm going to do something special for you. Instead of paying $14.97 to give you an added incentive for this webinar to sign up, I'm going to take another $500 off. Guys, there's no Black Friday, no Christmas or end of the year that is going to go lower than that. And I give you a free bonus as well. And the $9.97 is grandfathered in, by the way. It doesn't go up next year. I give you a bonus. For the first 15 to sign up, I will double the counties. So double the data means double the opportunities of listings. It's going to be a phenomenal year for you with that type of arsenal to your disposal. So regular pricing, $14.97 for Pro. 2 extra counties for FISBOs would normally be $240. We give you that for free. 2 extra counties for pre-foreclosures would normally $240. So now we're looking at $480 for free extra. And that never goes away. You will always have that. That's grandfathered in for life. And we give you also an ultimate guide to postcards, normally $50. You get that for free because some people you cannot call or text and you want to send postcards. We tell you exactly how to do it. We give you that ebook. So you're looking now at $2,027 for a year, which is a great price. It's still lower than any of the competitors with double the data. And we give it to you for only $9.97. That's our end of the year webinar special for you. There will never be a time lower than that. In fact, January 1st, there's going to be a price increase that has just been announced in our executive meeting, and you will be grandfathered in that price. So how do you get this? Very simple. If you want to save that $1,030 over the course of a year, and you want to be among the first 15 to get that deal, simply do this. Text PRO to 801-227-9909 right now when you're live or when you're watching this webinar. Okay. And we typically have enough of those 15 for the first 15 callers. If we don't, you still get that $9.97, but you don't get those extra counties. But give it a try. Make sure to text and we'll let you know if you're among those. And the number again, for those who are driving, who cannot maybe see that, the number is 801-227-9909. That is me. That's my number, Christoph. And I will call you back personally and also text you back with all your lookup for your pre-foreclosures and for sale by owners. Guys, I hope this was helpful. Rich, thank you so much for the time. I hope it didn't take too much, but I think it was great value for everybody.
No, that was perfect. I appreciate it, Chris. Thank you for stopping past and sharing that information on Landvoice. I would just say this in closing. There's always a call to action, right? And Chris did a fantastic job. I'm sitting there, I was looking at a roughly $2,000 cost in this end of the year sale, $997. Think about this: if the average home was $400,000 and you sold that home for a 2% commission, you've already paid for the year.
That's right. One listing, right? Yeah.
One listing and it paid for the year. So here's the thing that I will add on to this at the end is for those that Chris that call you and your team and they do the $997, I'm going to do the 2-week coaching on how to list for sale by owners and expired listings. I'm going to do that. And that's only for those that are paid at $997, because you know what? I believe that, when you're hungry, you show up every day differently. When you're hungry. And so that's for the hungry agents. I want to work with motivated sellers and I want to work with hungry agents. So those of you that do the 997 deal with Christoph and his team, I'm going to do 2 weeks of coaching specifically on for sale by owners and expired listing. That's my niche market. That's where I have the greatest level of success, 85% success rate at setting those appointments. So that's it for today. I appreciate everyone. My pleasure, Chris. Thank you everyone for logging on today. So make sure you call Christoph and his team, connect with them. End of the year, $997. What a deal. Happy holidays, everyone. Chris, you and your team have a fantastic day, and we'll talk soon.
Happy holidays. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Bye now.